Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzamos, and I welcome you to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Holding my shoes, of course, I'm doing what I do best, vlogging while I connect. I'm earthing as well. I find it easier nowadays to do a kind of vlog style video, more of a freestyle. I just don't need to be stationed in one place, because when I'm on the move, the downloads come in very, very quickly. So, I've got an announcement, ladies and gentlemen. I have started up my, what can I call it? So, I've developed a brand. There's a brand now, there's almost brand. So there's a clothing line and a lot of merchandise on sale, so I'm going to put the link in the description below. So if you want to support me and you want to wear the branded merchandise by me, Denzamos, just go to the link there, go into the brands and check which one is it you want. Is it a t-shirt? Is it a jumper? A hoodie? A raincoat? Some slide-ons. I've got some slide-ons in there. A couple of other things. You just go there and have a look. See which one you want. And support me, guys, It's really... I really appreciate, you can always support me. Buy one of them brands, so that I can also, get my daily bread, okay? You don't have to, but if you can afford it, just buy one or two brands. It's one other way to support me. And for the other ones who are not interested in the brand, of course, you can PayPal me, Cashapp me. The Cashapp is a bit tricky these days. I don't know, from the US, it's not working here. But the PayPal is okay, And for the ones, of course, you want to book a session, of course, reach me out through the email. The email also will be in the description below. Now, this video is going to be about empaths. Some of the challenges of being an empath, It's not easy being an empath, ladies and gentlemen. Empath, it can be a curse, depending on which perspective are you looking at it. And it can also be a blessing. So I prefer pretty much to focus on the blessings than the curse. Because I do not believe that God put empaths on this universe just to come around and be cursed. So it depends where you're coming from as well. It has always been a challenge, and this is going to be my perspective. If you have got your own opinions, of course, let us know in the comments what has been your experience. Your experience may not have been the same as mine, but I think for the most of the empaths, we relate to similar life situations. Now, being an empath, obviously, as an empath, you tend to have this gift. It's a spiritual gift to be an empath. That gift, it allows you to connect with other people on a very spiritual level, different level. So you will even sometimes sap up their emotions. You will be able to see how they feel. You will feel how they feel, not even to see, you will feel it. A person will have a headache. You are around them, you're going to get that headache. So the empath is like a sponge. You drop it in water, it gets soaked up. So when you're soaked up with a lot of negative people, they are crying. You're going to end up crying as an empath. They are hurting, you're going to feel that pain like it's your own. They have a headache, they have a stomach problem. So back in the days, I used to think that there was something wrong with me, so many years ago. I did not know that I was an empath. So I discovered out of these things, and I thought that maybe there was something wrong with me. Why was I feeling certain funny things in my body, only for me to look around and another guy in that vicinity was feeling or going through the same experience as me. So I was usually sucking up other people's emotions, even sometimes unconsciously. You're not even ready for this. It's not something you intend to, but it just happens because you're an empath. Okay. Now, empathic people also tend to attract. Empathic people also tend to attract a lot of toxic people, because you see, an empath is a person who has got a very balanced energy. Their energy is so balanced, and normally that kind of energy, it tends to attract also people that are on the opposite side of that spectrum. Very toxic people, unbalanced, people without genuine emotions, people without sympathy, people who cannot connect with other people around them on an emotional level. Something what the empaths can't do, So as an empath, sometimes you will see that you're attracting a lot of these narcissists, I'm looking back in years, so many years ago, and I'm seeing somebody else is grounding up behind there. Is doing the same thing I'm doing. It's not a coincidence that we're almost wearing the same t-shirts. There's no coincidence. Empaths tend to attract a lot of these narcissists, because the narcissist knows that when they get very good-hearted, warm-hearted people, they will come around, they will start playing with your emotions, they'll abuse you, they will gaslight you, they will play all their crap, and they know that you're going to let it go. You're going to forgive them. You're not going to take it out of them. You just leave it the way it is. So empaths, most of the times, personally, I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, many years ago, I used to attract so many different kinds of narcissists, Because me, when for example, I'm just giving an example. When I used to get into relationships, I always had good intentions, for everybody, for the person I'm dating in that moment. So I always had good intentions. I didn't have any reasons, like other hidden reasons as to why I'm getting into relationships. I just got into those relationships because I meant well for that person. You know what I mean? So most of the times, these narcissists, they take advantage of that. They think that, this guy is a very nice man. This woman is a very good woman. She's warm-hearted. She's soft. She's so loving. She's so caring. So they come in there and they dupe you into very meaningless relationships. And most of the times, you guys already know, these things have turned out to be extremely, extremely destructive, very toxic and destructive, and very energy draining. You know what I mean? So when you guys hear people talking about energy vampires, so these are guys, they will be around you, and consciously or unconsciously, they will start sucking your energy, feeding off of your energy. You know what I mean? Because that's what energy vampires do, right? I think one of the other things I can talk about, some of the challenges that I've seen along my journey as well, of being an empath, is sometimes you're going to have to say no when you've been asked to do something. You're going to have to say yes. You're going to have to say yes. Even if you know that you were supposed to say no, you have to say yes. So for an empath, it's very difficult to say no. You know what I mean? When a person comes around, they come towards you, they need some advice, they need some help, they need some money, they need some guidance. Always you find yourself putting an extra leg forward and standing there for them and, helping them with one or two things, whatever it is they're dealing with. So when I was starting this platform, I can guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, I did not see it as a way to earn money. I did not initially intend to make any money from this. I was like, okay, I see so many people sharing on YouTube. I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to share my story. Maybe I'm going to be helping people in one way or the other. You know what I mean? But of course, as you evolve, you understand that actually it's an extra source of income. So you can as well earn from it. You know what I mean? And grow from it as well while helping people. So most of the times as an empath, you will see that you are actually struggling to say no. You cannot say no, ladies and gentlemen. When you say no to somebody, you feel very guilty, you know, because empaths are people who don't have like strong boundaries. Most of the empaths, especially the unawakened ones, they do not have strong boundaries for themselves. So they meet a lot of these people who overstep their boundaries. They think that, oh, because you're nice, you're always going to be in there to help them, to assist them. You're always going to put one leg forward for them. Even sometimes empaths, they tend to ignore their own needs, you know, and they put other people in front and they ignore their own needs. So sometimes you can find an empath, for example, they have got $100 with them and they are going to give the $90 to somebody they believe needs it, maybe more than they do, and they will stay with the $10, you know. So subconsciously the empaths know that sometimes when you give out, not even sometimes, it's just the law of attraction. You give out, it usually comes back to you tenfold. You know what I mean? So that is one of the things that also empaths is challenging a lot of empaths around the world. They have a very, very difficult time to say no. It's like for them, no is not an option. It's very, very difficult for them to say no. And most of the times they are dragged into difficult situations with people because they actually accepted to take an offer or get into something that they should have said no, but they went into, and sometimes they end up getting hurt, you know, stolen from, destroyed, all those kind of things. You know what I mean? So another thing, what I see, one of the challenges that I've seen personally, this has been according to my personal experience. I know that I'm an empath, but if you have got your own way of understanding this, you will let us know what has been your challenges as well as an empath along your journey. Empaths also tend to, they have a problem. Empaths are normally very shy people. You know, empaths, they're people who like to stay at the back. You know what I mean? So they don't usually like to be the center of attention. You know, they don't have to be. They don't even want to be actually center of attention. So most of the times, empaths are even introverts. There are some empaths, many empaths who are introverts. So they don't want to be noticed. So sometimes you can be in a situation whereby you are going to be forced to be noticed. You may be actually called up to speak, to give a presentation or to say something, and normally it's very, very uncomfortable most of the times for you to come around and stand in front of crowds, give speeches, give ideas, give knowledge, give wisdom, and things like that. You know what I mean? So empaths tend to be very shy. That's what I'm trying to say. They tend to be very, very shy, and they tend to be laid back. So in a very big setting, it can be a church, it can be schools, it can be I don't know, wherever you are, communities. The empaths always take the back seat, so they're just watching everything from a distance. And mind you, these guys are very, very smart and very clever. They are watching everything from a distance. They are taking notes. So empaths, they're the guys like that who sit back and just take notes. So they're watching everything very carefully, and they're taking notes. And most of the times they will see the discrepancies, they will see the irregular activity happening around them, but they will not. They even sometimes not say anything, and they'll just let it go. You know what I mean? So there are people who always will be shy, whatever they are. They can only come out to speak or to engage with different people only when they have been forced to do so. They have been asked and they don't have an option. That's when they are going to do that. You know what I mean? So I think that is one of the other challenges I've met as a person, which I think also you guys already resonate with that, for being an empath. What is? Empaths, they tend to have a problem. Not a problem. I don't like to use that word problem. Empaths tend to have a challenge when it comes to crowds, you know. So, you know, there's a concert, there's a very big party going on, there's a very big occasion happening. They have to be there. It's going to be a very big challenge. So most of the times you are there, but at the same time you're not there. Because remember that wherever you go as an empath, you will find a lot of different people everywhere with different kinds of energies. So all of them are vibrating at different frequencies. And you being the empath that you are, you will also notice that actually you are actually sapping up a lot of that energy. You know what I mean? So it's the reason as to why you see sometimes empaths, after very big parties, occasions, I don't know, whatever, they have been engaged with a very big group of people, a very big setting of people. They are going to withdraw and they will go somewhere and sit down and recharge. You know what I mean? So they may find a very quiet place. There are guys who like to recharge, so they will come around, sit in a very quiet place, you know, read a book, just sit down in the sun, maybe take a swim or things like that. But they always have a problem, a challenge with very big groups of people. You know what I mean? Because those big settings of people, they actually drain the empath's energy. So do not ask yourself a question as to why you have always been feeling very drained. You just came from the church, you feel all your energy is gone. You came from a group meeting, all your energy is gone, and you need time alone to recharge. So it's a must. You know, you have to do it. You have to know that you need time alone. Even sometimes empaths in relationships, there are sometimes when the relationships are overwhelming for them. They are very toxic people. They are engaged and connected with very toxic people, and those people, they're actually draining their energy. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're going to see these empaths. They are even within that marriage or relationship. I used to do that often, actually, when I was the narcissist. You want a day that is yours, just a day for you. You know what I mean? You want to wake up in the morning, you don't want to hear anything, you don't want to hear some noise, so sometimes you walk away from the house. You'll go somewhere out there in the trees, in the bushes, in the parks, by the seaside. You want to spend some time alone to recharge. So most of the times you're even doing this unconsciously, but that is because you're around a person that is an energy vampire, and usually they are sucking up your energy wherever you are, you know. So being an empath is not really a walk in the park, you know. There are so many challenges we meet as empaths as well, you know what I mean. And maybe another thing I can talk about, the challenge of being an empath, is normally you can be misunderstood by a lot of people. People, they don't understand the choices that you want to make in life. They don't understand the decisions you decide to take for yourself. They don't understand why you say the things you say. They don't understand why you do the things you do. So most of the times, because of that misunderstanding, the empaths, sometimes they tend to have a lot of people who are going to misjudge them. So you're always going to be misjudged as an empath. It is one of the challenges you're going to meet as a highly empathic person. So the challenge, another one I want to talk about of being an empath, the challenge of being an empath is usually as an empath, you are going to find yourself usually isolated and alone. So there is so many times you are going to find yourself alone. And it's not because you really have to be alone, but it's just because you decide to be alone because you don't want to engage with people in crowds and things like that. So you want to spend this quiet time alone with yourself, just doing your own stuff, just doing you. You know what I mean? It's one of the things as well that you will find, the challenges you will find as being a highly empathic person. Isolation, loneliness, maybe sometimes it be the order of the day. You can even sometimes be married in your relationship, but the most part of that relationship, you're spending it alone. You're in the kitchen cooking, your partner is in the living room watching TV, or they are shopping, or sometimes it's vice versa. You know what I mean? So most of the times you will see, you get those moments whereby you want to be actually alone. You can actually isolate yourself from chaos and just sit down by yourself and, you know, just do your own thing. Because empaths, the people who want to be at peace wherever they are. So those are some of the things I can think about, ladies and gentlemen, the challenges of being an empath. If there's another challenge you know about, I do not know, or I have not mentioned, let us know about that in the comment section below. And until then, You guys already know I do love and appreciate your support. Book a session with me, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to. You may donate or support my channel, and don't forget to click on that link. You can see the merchandise. Order whichever one suits your needs or you want to take with you. It's another way to support me, like I've said. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Desamos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.